Hey strong people, Kalle Beck here from StartingStrongman.com, and we are going to talk a quick wrap up of Europe's Strongest Man. I'm going to try to get a full podcast where I'm talking a little slower out later, hopefully, if I can find the time for that. But just want to quickly recap my thought on the events as I was able to see them and get a little bit of the information out to you. I did the log lift in a previous video, so go and check that out. Either have a card up here or down there or somewhere about it. But first off, just to quickly recap log as it pertains to the whole contest is Hafthor Bjornsson was able to do 213 kilos for the event win, and that was huge because there's going to be a big tie. Gymnasia ended up tying, and others. So he's able to get that big points gap because the others tied on the events. Then we go to the axle deadlift. It was a little bit under 800 pounds axle with straps from the floor. Gymnasia ends up getting a joint second with Lawless, Vitalis Lawless, in that. And Hafthor, I think, pulled around like 6 or so to get the event win, and he just stopped because it's all he needed to do. Hafthor is now one of the most statically strong men on the planet, and that was always his weakness, so now he kind of looks unstoppable. Looks like Lawless pulled out after that with an injury, and then, so Kilkowski, who somehow I just totally forgot his name in my preview video, and I apologize to Kilkowski for that. He starts to go on a tear here. So Zydrunas Savickas was hanging tight through the first two events in third, with Gymnasia in second, and Hafthor kind of slowly going away in first. But then we go into the farmer's walk, and Kilkowski wins. Hafthor places, middle of the road. It's kind of a long event for him. Kilkowski wins. He then wins the car walk, which breaks a world record in that event, and then even beats Hafthor in the Atlas stones. But Hafthor had like a 6-point lead going into the stones, so I don't think he was really pushing it. But I think it's incredible that Kilkowski ends up taking third overall, just a point off of second, after he gets he only hits the opening weight on the log press. He gets, I think 9th or 10th on the deadlift, and then wins the last 3 events. It's just if he could get his static strength up, and his overhead was there, he just injured his tricep. He did have a 200 kilo log, so I think his overhead will get back, hopefully, as that tricep heals and he gets back to full strength. He just really needs to get that deadlift sorted out, and he'd pretty much be unbeatable. And he's, 300 pounds, way smaller than most of these guys. So he edged out Savickas to get the podium at the end. He was, I think, 2 points behind going into stones, and he won the stones with Hafthor getting in between, and Gymnasia as well in between Savickas, along with Terry Hollins, who, Terry Hollins gets a nice, 6th place at Europe's. I know a lot of people kind of count him out just because he looks like an oversized male model now, but, he still is able to get mid-pack at Worlds. He hangs right in there. One thing I thought coming in, Savickas, he got the 200 log pretty easily, and then the 213, it just looked like he got to it, and he couldn't. His shoulder started bothering him a little bit, so he's definitely, I feel, healthier. He missed 200 at Masters World's Strongest Man in December, so his strength's definitely back up. His body weight's definitely back up. I think he's definitely in contention to make the finals again at Worlds with a bit different kind of events. Maybe he'll do better. I don't think he's healthy enough to maybe contend for his 5th title, but he's been better shape than last year when he got 9th, so I'm thinking he's going to be right around the 4th to 5th to 6th range looking forward. And that's what Europe's really does, more so than how they performed. We got World's Strongest Man in 3 weeks in the Philippines, and this is pretty much everyone that we're going to see at World. Some of the top names, minus, the North American contingent, like Brian Shaw, Martins, JF Caron, etc. But, this is a good amount of the people, and there's some guys that we had some questions on. Some old older favorites have been kind of, plagued by injury and are not around, like Vitalis Wallace and Krzysztof Radzikowski, and it seems like both of them couldn't make the whole contest, so that's not a good sign that they're going to be ready for Worlds in 3 weeks. I know Adam Bishop is also skipped Europe because he said he's slightly detached a bicep, I believe he said on his Instagram. So, probably I think Paul Smith was an alternate for World's Strongest Man, along with Brian Benzel of the United States. I don't know if anyone else is. So one of those guys is probably going to get a shot considering these injuries. Hopefully they're healed up enough to compete at Worlds. Graham Hicks looked a little out of sorts. I know he said he was a little bit sick on his Instagram, but he still managed to get 5th place. Again, final results. Hafthor Bjornsson wins his 4th Europe Strongest Man, taking 44 points. Konstantin Janashia picked up 2nd with 36 points, and Kilkowski with that comeback, winning the last 3 events despite pretty much getting last in the first 2. Just behind him at 35 was Adrinas Savickas with 33. Thanks to Lawrence Chalet for all the updates on Twitter and Instagram and everywhere on his social media. Definitely subscribe to his YouTube. He's doing great videos, and it's really cool to see. As I said in my last video, I'm Kalle Beck. Go on your favorite podcast app or subscribe to this channel. Do a more in-depth show called the Strong Talk Podcast, where I don't talk so fast and it's free form. Go to startingstrongman.com for all of your strongman news and training information. And for everything you need to train for the sport, including my ebook, How to Train Strongman in a Regular Gym, go to store.startingstrongman.com.